I'm Lena Morris, 33, owner of a small handmade jewelry brand called Silver Woven. Every piece I made carried a piece of my soul because I built it from nothing. When people talk about family, they talk about love, loyalty, and trust. But my story? It's about how blood can be the sharpest blade. I grew up in Eugene, Oregon, in a family that believed in hard work and decency. My father ran a garage. My mom baked for local cafes. We didn't have much, but we had enough. Enough to dream. My younger sister Maya was always different. Beautiful, restless, drawn to people who lived fast and shiny. I was the planner, she was the spark, and like most sparks, she found her fire in the wrong place. After college, I spent years grinding, selling bracelets at weekend markets, making deliveries on my old scooter, designing through sleepless nights. Bit by bit, Silver Woven grew. 32. I had 2 employees, a loyal customer base, and an investor ready to help me scale. That investment money, $95,000, was everything. Years of sweat, sacrifice, and stubbornness, all condensed into a single number on a screen. And then came Ethan, Maya's husband, my nightmare in designer shoes. Ethan was the kind of man who walked into a room and instantly made everyone feel small. He sold luxury real estate, drove cars that screamed ego, and looked at me like my hard work was a joke. At family dinners he'd smirk, still making trinkets for Etsy, Lena? And I'd smile back, calm, polite, because people like him feed on reaction. I thought ignoring him was power. I was wrong. After our parents passed away in a car accident, Maya drifted closer to him and further from me. He isolated her, wrapped her life around his. I didn't realize how deep that control went until it was too late. It happened on a Sunday morning. I was preparing final payments for my new studio lease when my banking app froze. Session expired. I logged back in and froze again. $0. Checking, savings, business, all drained. Every penny, gone. At first I thought it was a glitch. Then came the email. Thank you for your transfer of $94,760.82 to Ethan Harper Holdings. My stomach dropped. My ears rang. No one should have had access to those funds. Except maybe the person who'd borrowed my laptop last night to check directions. I remember his words vividly. Relax, Lena. It's just a computer. What are you hiding? Bitcoin. That smirk that said I already own your fear. I called Maya. She didn't answer. I drove straight to their house. No warning, no plan, just fury. He opened the door in a robe, coffee in hand, like nothing had happened. Looking for something? He drawled. My money, I said, every syllable shaking. Where is it? He didn't flinch. He took a slow sip and said, You should thank me. I'm investing it for you. Family helps family. Maya appeared behind him, pale, trembling. Ethan, stop. He cut her off with a glare so sharp it made her shrink. That was my first clue. This wasn't partnership, it was possession. I wanted to scream, to claw, to burn it all down. But rage without proof is just noise. So I forced a smile. Then you won't mind signing a few documents, I said. He frowned. What documents? Oh, just formalities, I lied. You know, business protection stuff. He smirked again, arrogant, careless. Sure, whatever helps you sleep. He signed, with his full name, date, and a flourish. He had no idea what he'd just done. That night, I turned my fear into strategy. I met Noah, a cybersecurity expert and one of my earliest customers. He helped me trace every transaction, every login, every digital fingerprint. Within hours, we had Ethan's full trail, access logs, device IDs, even his phone's IP address during the transfers. He hadn't stolen my money. He digitally confessed to theft with timestamps. But I wanted more than police reports. I wanted to strip him of the illusion of control, publicly, legally, permanently. A week later, I invited the entire family to my boutique's relaunch event. Ethan came, smug and relaxed, Maya clinging to his arm like a hostage. He whispered as he passed, "I'm glad you're moving on, Lena. Let the professionals handle the money next time." I smiled. I already did. When everyone gathered, I tapped the microphone. "Before we cut the ribbon," I said, "I'd like to thank someone special who made this expansion possible." All eyes turned to me. "My brother-in-law, Ethan Harper," I said sweetly, "who invested his freedom." He blinked. "What?" The large screen behind me lit up, transaction logs, screenshots, signed documents, and one video clip from my laptop camera. Ethan logging in, typing, approving transfers, time-stamped, unmistakable. The room gasped. Maya covered her mouth. Ethan went crimson. "You think this is funny?" he barked. "This is defamation." "No," I said. "This is evidence. And by the way," I pointed to the door, "Detective Ross has been waiting to meet you." Two officers stepped forward. Ethan tried to bolt. They didn't let him. The silence afterward was heavy, electric. Maya sobbed. My hands shook, not with fear, with release. Weeks later, he was charged with fraud, coercion, and financial theft. The court froze his assets, including his luxury car and their joint accounts. Ironically, the same arrogance that made him steal from me made him careless enough to leave a trail. When it was over, Maya came to stay with me. She was thin, quiet, scared of her own voice. One night, as we packed online orders together, she whispered, "He used to tell me I was lucky to have him. But looking at you now, I think he was the lucky one. Until he lost you both." I didn't reply. I just hugged her. Because sometimes victory isn't loud. It's the quiet breath after years of suffocation. Months passed. I reopened my boutique, brighter, safer, and debt-free. The bank recovered 90% of my funds through insurance and restitution. But that wasn't the real win. The real win was this. Maya filed for divorce. She started therapy. She laughed again. And every time she helps a customer now, I see a flicker of the girl she used to be, before he dimmed her. Last week, I received a letter from the state prison. "You think you won, Lena, but you'll always be the paranoid one. Enjoy your hollow victory." I tore it once, then twice, and threw it into the trash. Because the truth is, he didn't understand. I never wanted revenge. I wanted peace. Now, every morning when I open my boutique, I look at the sign above the counter. It reads, "Handmade from what was broken." Because that's what I am. Broken once, rebuilt twice as strong. And if you've ever been betrayed by your own blood, remember this. Family isn't who shares your name. It's who protects your peace. Have you ever had someone you trusted steal from you? Not money, but your peace of mind? Tell me in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and remember, karma doesn't knock twice. Sometimes it kicks the door down.